BullionMax. I'm Mark Allen along with Sean Reynolds. He is the customer service manager for BullionMax. We're going to spend some time together today to talk about some hot words that are being thrown around, and we're going to ask Sean to describe them. We're also going to talk about uh, some of the specials that BullionMax has. And he had a special a couple of weeks ago, Sean. It sold out quickly.
hmm
Tell us about that. And do you do these on a regular basis?
Yeah, we had kind of a special promotion that we did with. We have a couple of guys who do videos and they do unboxing and things of that nature to promote our products. So, Silver Dragons is one of them. Silver Slayer is another of them. And boy, because of their following, when they're showing some of these products, for example, we had a 10-ounce silver bar that was made by the Royal Mint, and it had the Britannia theme of the warrior princess on there. And we decided with this, during this initial airing of his presentation on YouTube, that we would sell 50 of those bars at the spot price or just at the market price, so no premium on that.
And we talked about premiums in our last episode.
Yes. So it takes two things to make up a purchase price for anything precious metals. You have the market rate for the metal
Mhm.
and its weight, and then an additional charge for acquisition cost, manufacturing, could be a number of different things. And boy, we sold through those really quickly. It was about 15 minutes, and we went from him telling people about it to them that supply of 50 being gone. But of course, when you're selling so quickly, you're still going to hear people who just missed out. And it was interesting how many of those folks were more experienced people who understand you don't normally get the ability to purchase precious metals at spot price. So that's virtually the best price you could pay. A precious metals dealer is not going to sell something for under spot. And if anybody ever sees someone advertising for less than that, you should really be very cautious about that. They may not be legit. So unless it's one of the biggies or us doing it, and you're always welcome to call me to say, "Hey, Sean, is this legit?" Just do so, please.
We
But
we see TV ads all the time for buy
mhm,
these four coins of
mhm.
whatever kind, and they're only 9.95 each.
Yeah, so usually that's either the tip of the iceberg of getting you on the path to sign up to be purchasing a whole collection, and that's your loss leader to get you started, or it may just be bogus. So unfortunately, this industry sees a good bit of fraud because not everybody is as educated as they should be or could be about it, and so they don't recognize when somebody's messing with them. So that's a little tricky. But
If
what I
somebody, I'm sorry, if there is a problem, is there, you mentioned insurance for traveling,
hmm
when a product is transported to a person. Tell us any other um, customer service protections.
well, one of the things that we've not had to deal with at Bullion Max, but sometimes you do with other companies, is quality.
Mm.
And so we do have a satisfaction guarantee. Fortunately, as a new company, most of what we have is in new condition. So we're not really dealing with something that's been sold 5 or 6 times already. And each time it gets handled and its quality degrades a little bit each time. We're really more your essentials. And current year or maybe the past couple of years for the ages of the coins, but really, unless they're in what we call brilliant uncirculated condition, which is virtually new, not necessarily perfect. I'm going to be very choosy on my words here, but virtually new condition, so that you would have no trouble reselling those when the day comes for you to liquidate. Um, and so you shouldn't have issues because of condition. But what was interesting about these guys, these later ones who are calling in, they know the value of being able to purchase at spot. And
Mm-hmm.
so many of them were asking about other information, either about that product or other products. And as they ask me, hey, what's an eagle going for? Hey, what's this going for? And they're thinking of prices from 10 years ago, or maybe even 5 or 6 years ago, and they are truly shocked by what the premiums are right now. I mean, typical going rate for an American Eagle right now is about $10 over spot. And it may be as high as 15, depending upon what it took to get somebody to give them up so we can make them available for purchase. So premiums right now are at an all-time high, but I would hope no one gets discouraged and stops buying metals from precious metals dealers just because that's the situation. The supply is so short, it's driving up the price of the premiums. And so this is just good old supply and demand, Mark. That's what's going on. As long as the supply remains tight, we're going to see higher premiums. And this is especially going to be true if that parabolic increase, so that melt up that some of our guests have predicted happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we already have a short supply and then the market does this, well, everybody and his brother is going to try to buy some. But the problem is, we already don't have enough for everybody and his brother among all of the precious metals businesses out there. There are a number of us that exist, and you'll notice we all have out of stocks on a variety of different things. I was pricing some things out because we recently added palladium to our
Okay.
website. We have 1 ounce palladium bar. We were the only person who had a 1 ounce palladium bar. All the other big guys who we're normally doing our price checks on and making sure we've got the lowest, if not the lower price, they didn't have any palladium. Now, palladium's currently trading at about $3,000 an ounce.
Oh
So
my.
when I joined the business in the mid 2010s, it was about 650 an ounce. So it's been an amazing journey for that particular metal. I don't know of many people investing in it now simply because it's already
It's already gone up there.
yeah. So
What is
it had an
palladium
increase.
used for? What is,
3,300 I think was as high as I saw it going. I just kind of went, yeah, I wish I would have bought some of that when I started at AppMax. Holy cow, that's
what
an
is, what
amazing
is
journey.
palladium used for?
Palladium is a white metal very similar to platinum. And so it was kind of platinum's replacement. So catalytic converters for a while. When
Okay.
platinum got as high as it did, it became more of the industrial metal. And now they're just back to using platinum because now platinum's not trading at 2,500 an ounce anymore. It's more like 1,000, 1,100. But what an amazing story. But it's the scarcity of palladium that's really driving it now. And guess what? The majority of it is found in Russia, Ukraine. So
That's going to bring that up too.
most
It,
definitely.
has the unfortunate war in the Ukraine, has that driven up prices throughout, do you think? I mean, all precious
Oh,
metals?
certainly, certainly. I think that the concerns about what's going on in the world right now are taking those people who are on the fence about buying because they were concerned about the value of the dollar. They were concerned about inflation. They were concerned about other things. The the war in Ukraine is definitely pushing people off that fence from I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it to being buyers. And of course, as these new buyers enter the scene, they're taking inventory out of the massive pool. So again, that tightens up the inventory a little bit more. So we already have the mints not keeping up with the pace of people purchasing. And so the supply is so much shorter than the demand currently. But there are so many people lined up to buy it. When I talk to people, it's like today's the day. There's some little trigger that gets them, whether it's a big dip in the stock market, and they go, okay, that I have to protect my dollars. I have to make my purchase today. or it's some other inflationary number that has come to light, or the increase in the price of gas has got people saying, look, the dollar, it does not go as far as it used to. Things are just getting worse. I need these hard assets to protect my own money. I don't want to have dollars that are going to continue to shrink and shrink and shrink. I need something that's going to hold its value. And
and increase.
yes, and normally you don't look at precious metals for the market increase. You look at it as your steady eddy. These are solid dollars. It's almost like buying bonds. You know, the line just kind of goes sideways. Okay, but not anymore. Not anymore. We have been seeing since COVID some significant increases in the market rate for these metals, but it also didn't give it back. It tends to do that. It tends to, whenever there's a big jump up, there's normally a big slide down. Well, we didn't see that. It went down a little, sure, but it's also gone back up since then. Okay, I was assisting some customers. It was like a week ago on Monday. Silver was flirting with $26, but she wouldn't go to the dance. It was 25.75, 25.80. Now it's down to 25.65. Following morning, not only did she go to the dance, she went all the way to 27. What? Crazy. We don't normally see that kind of volatility, but again, as metals tends to, it had that little bit of panic and then it mellowed back out. And then we're in the $26 range for about a week. And now, first few days of this week, now we're back at about $25. But this is
And
still a recent increase. We're still on the upside from starting at 23, 24.
right. And precious metals is a it's like golf. It's a long game,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're uh, I mean, some people say that golf is the short game. It's on once you're on the green, it's the putting, right? Uh,
Yeah, and that's my game is once I'm putting, I'm good. I just can't get to the green. I
yeah,
drive
I
horribly.
could relate to that. My my understanding is that precious metals investing, whether you're buying as an investment or a collectible, because that panda looks really pretty, um,
They are cute.
and they are cute, and there are others, the kangaroos and the maple leafs and all the others.
No koalas, yeah.
Oh, yeah, koalas. I understand they may be a little bit, they're not as friendly as they look. The
Especially
real
if you
one.
take away their bamboo. That would
Yes,
be, or their
exactly. Right,
eucalyptus. Yeah.
right. So, but it's a long game. You buy it today, and it's not like the day traders of yesterday, right?
hmm It
You
would be very silly to look at the metals market and count pennies and put all your hopes on those pennies. The long game, most definitely. You cost average what you purchase, and of course that's looking at market rate plus premiums, and you cost average all of that out. But given what we've been hearing, and given that you know I inflation and hedging against the dollar is not something you're going to do quickly and then stop. If inflation is going to continue, your investment needs to continue, because otherwise, the second you stop, you're no longer hedging against it. So, yeah, it is the long game, and it's not so much about what the price is today. It's the accumulation of all the purchases that you've made and averaging that out, and knowing the melt up that has been predicted by some of our guests, even that we've had on the podcast. Um, the puts and takes are not going to be nearly as obvious to you when silver's $50 an ounce or when it's $100 an ounce. You might still remember the stuff that you bought under 20 bucks. You probably will. Okay. But
But
those
isn't that the name of the game? You buy it under 20, and you hope it goes to 100. You
right,
said, you said on our last episode, buy low, sell high.
buy low, sell high if you can. But we've not normally seen these kind of increases. I mean, since uh, since silver flirted with $50 and then it just absolutely crashed after that, it's been slowly building its way back up, and it has doubled its in value. There isn't really another period in silver's history where it did that. So we are blazing some new trails and getting the advantage of market increases that we're not just giving back anymore. So it is really, it's equally exciting and scary to have the markets, to have metal markets move with this type of volatility. But this is, predicted precursors to a significant increase due to a melt up. And
Has been predicted. If
yeah,
you are interested in precious metals, whether as an investment, a hedge against inflation, or just as collectibles, because collectibles do go up in value, I encourage you to visit the website bullionmax.com. That's bullionmax.com. It's here on our screen right now. The customer service uh, at Bullion Max is par excellence. It's become the standard in the industry. And of course, the customer service manager for Bullion Max is our co-host, and that's Sean Reynolds, right?
yes,
And
absolutely. And I'd like to speak to that just a little bit.
sure.
When we started talking about our goals for Bullion Max, we wanted to have the best experience in the industry. Now, we have experience working for our competition. We know what customers liked and we know what customers didn't like about the business. And we are doing our absolute best to do more of those things that we know people like and less of those things we know they don't like. Are we totally there yet? No. We're less than a year old, but we already do some things that no one else in the industry does. I'd love to brag about them, but some of them are actually fraud prevention type of things. So I don't want to let people know all of the secrets of our sauce, but certainly some larger orders get a little extra care that we provide that the other our competitors don't even touch. They don't do it. And you know what? We're seeing success because we're not seeing as much loss because of those extra things we do on Bullion Max's dime, not your dime.
And
So
so the secret sauce, it's like on a Big Mac. We kind of know what it is, but
it's
we
not
don't
just
know the
a burger. It's a step above,
yeah.
and a lot of that comes from the great operational experience that we have, the great experience we have with our guys in finance, and then just the customer experience that I've had, with my background coming from American Girl, which is a world-class service organization. You don't normally see that type of service applied to precious metals, but we ask the question, why not? It really, if the heart is in the same place and you have the same listening skills for that business as you do for this one, you do everything you can to help people out. You help to educate them. Again, we're not pushy salespeople. We're letting you know what's available, and then you decide. And hopefully, we have it in stock. We're doing our best to make sure that happens. But if we don't have that, chances are I know what's available, and I can show you other alternatives. Or maybe you'll want to do half of these and half of these. It still may not be the best price for each of those, but that's what's available, and that may be what makes sense for what you buy for yourself. And
And with the customer
I'm happy to do
service,
that.
yeah, and with the customer service that you offer, uh, the it's just we hear little voices in the background. The customer service is so important in something like this,
Hmm.
and as I noted in our last episode, generally speaking, customer service is has deteriorated, but
Hmm.
Bullion Max, under your supervision,
Hmm.
is committed to being the best in the industry.
Absolutely, and the biggest key to that is trust. We want to make sure that when we set an expectation, we meet that expectation. Some folks don't know us from Adam. Some people are referred to us by Birch Gold. Some people saw, Silver Dragons, Silver Slayer, saw their videos on YouTube. Um, we absolutely have to set and meet expectations to gain people's trust. So there are a couple of potential pain points for new folks that if they don't call me, they might be surprised. For example, the prices we have and the prices we show are almost always based on best column pricing or quantity of 500 or best and the cash discounted price. So if you buy fewer than that, you're going to see a price that's not that price. You're going to see something higher.
Well, that's like
If
buying a dozen eggs or 18 eggs.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And then the same is true when you use a payment method that is not either a check or wire or an ACH or e-check. Um, you lose the cash discount if you use PayPal or whatnot. So when people see the price change in their cart and they're not really paying attention to what has been done to make that happen, people get suspicious. They think we're up to some type of shenanigans.
Right.
And
I
I
have to tell you, I went to a restaurant yesterday and bought dinner, and whipped out my credit card, and the guy said, "Now we take credit cards, all of them, but we want I'm letting you know in advance, we charge 4% to use a credit card.
mm-hmm,
If you want to pay that, it would have been a couple of bucks." And, so you do it, but you have that advanced knowledge.
mm-hmm.
That's what BullionMax does.
Yeah, so the credit card is the standard price, and we offer a cash discount. The net effect is similar, but it will make your price change in the cart when you're checking out online. And newer folks don't know that. More experienced folks know that everybody does it this way.
Right.
So they don't question it. They understand that when they make that choice in checkout, that hey, the price changed because I just did this.
Right.
Now, we don't offer a lot of extra verbiage in checkout to draw your attention to that because we really like the concept of things being easy and things being quick. And I love reading our reviews when people make their initial purchase or whatnot. Ease and speed, anything that says those two things, uh, that just reinforces that the experience that we're shooting for when you check out and use our website is working. But I also love when people tell us things that aren't that good. Okay, those things come directly to me, and I work with the team to see if there's a better way to do this. Is there a solve for this, or was this just a misunderstanding and that person needs to be educated? Well, if they need to be educated, guess who they hear from? Me.
So
If it's
that's an
something,
important thing to know.
yes, and if it's something systemic as a team, we will work on it together. As I said, we've got a fantastic operations team and a great finance team and a great service and marketing team. We try to be as
Transparent?
as full disclosure as we possibly can be. And so that's where education is so important. And that's where delivering on any promises that we made is so important because trust is so important, and we we get one opportunity to get it right the first time. And that is not lost on me being a 30-year service professional. Whatever we can do. So when we were working on our operations manual and we were working on policies and procedures and all these things, it's like, let's get as much of this stuff automated as possible to give us as few opportunities to mess it up as possible. Because this is people's money. You don't really get to make mistakes when money is at hand. Now, we jokingly talked about my time with American Girl. If there's an issue with the doll, I'm going to send you another one and I'm going to pick the other one up. And it's done. It's no big deal. And I can also send you one before I get the other one back because the cost of goods is not that much. But if you've got 5 gold pieces and there's a problem, I can't necessarily just send you 5 gold pieces so you have 10 at once.
Right.
And at some point, I need 5 of them back. Okay,
Absolutely. There's,
not the same, not the
yeah,
same
it's not the
scenario.
same.
But that's why it's that much more important that we get it right the first time.
And that's what BullionMax does. They strive to get it right
Hmm.
the first time. They have trust. They have experts in all the fields required to make sure that when you're purchasing precious metals, it goes smoothly. We are out of time right now, Sean, and we will commence again very soon. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time watching. Please visit us at bullionmax.com. Bullionmax.com. Lots of information. There are some videos, there are audios, there are things for you to read, and more importantly, there's Sean to back you up in
Hmm.
customer service. Sean, thanks a lot for your time today. I appreciate it.
Great to be here. I enjoy these episodes.
I do too. I'm Mark Allen. We'll see you on our next episode. Bye bye for now.